I finished top 1000 in the world multiple times, and these are the top 3 best decks to use in Arena 16 right now. Alright, the first deck that I want to be sharing with you is going to be this Lava Hound deck with the Evo Valk and the Bomber, and this deck is super good, especially with the Evo Valk because it gets so much defensive value for you guys. And the main premise with this deck is that you have to be okay with taking some damage and you should win most of your game. Just keep that in mind, guys. You just need to take some damage and convert that elixir advantage that you get from taking damage, and that will help you build a massive push, and there's no way your enemy is going to stop that. So right here, I'm going to take some damage from the baby dragon and start a Lava Hound push on the right side. I'm just going to use the bomber right here to defend against the mini P.E.K.K.A. I don't have to use the snowball because the mini P.E.K.K.A. won't get to my tower. I'm going to support the Lava Hound with the Inferno Dragon. I don't think I'm going to snowball just because I'm just going to wait, and you don't need to mount a big push right from the start, guys. This deck is going to shine in double elixir time. It's completely okay for you to abandon your push and start a new one, just because you don't have to go in all the time. Even in your first push, it's okay to just let it go and start a new push after that. Right here, we're just gonna wait till 10 elixir and play the Lava Hound at the back and start that push going right here. I'm just gonna snowball here because it's a positive elixir trade, because the snowball's just 2 elixir and the Goblin Bell is 3, so we're gonna be up by just 1 or 2 elixir, I think. And I'm gonna start my Lava Hound push on the right side. I'm gonna support my Lava Hound with my Inferno Dragon right behind it, and I think he's gonna Tombstone here. I'm not gonna arrows just yet because I want to see if he's gonna play the bats. He does play the bats, and we're gonna get a massive value with our arrows right there. We're gonna try to press him as much as we can. I'm gonna use my Lava Hound right when I hit 7 elixir because that's gonna apply a lot more pressure right here. I'm gonna wait for it. I'm not even gonna snowball here. I'm gonna support my Lava Hound push with the Skeleton Dragons because that's gonna be super good. It's just gonna DPS everything that he plays at the bridge right now, and I don't think this guy can stop our push, guys. And that's why this Lava Hound deck is the best deck right now. I don't really have the Evo Valkyrie, but if you guys do have the Evo Valkyrie, this deck is going to be a free win for you guys in Arena 16 every single time. Alright, the next deck that I want to be sharing with you guys is the classic log bait with just a slight modification. We're gonna have the poison and the Evo skeletons, and this deck is absolutely crushing it in this meta just because you're gonna see a lot of goblins, you're gonna see a lot of night witch, you're gonna see a lot of witch, wizard, and things of that sort. So the poison in this deck is a lifesaver just because you're gonna get so much defensive value with the card. I know poison, you guys like to use it on offense, but the amount of defensive value that you get and the defensive stability that you get from the Inferno Tower and the poison in this deck is just absurd to me, just because you're gonna get so much value. I think I'm gonna protect my princess here. I'm gonna use the knight, but unfortunately the knight's gonna push the princess in front. I know he's super low in elixir, so I'm gonna press him with the goblin gang. I know that he doesn't have the right cards in cycle, and he's just gonna take so much damage and lose his tower, guys. And that's why it's so important to understand what deck your enemy is gonna be running and see if you can press or see if you can pressure when they don't have the right cards in cycle. So the best play with a log is you can usually play your skeletons, princess, or even your knight at the back. So those are some good starting plays with log bait. I'm going to poison here because we can hit the tower, elixir collector, and the king tower. I think we should be completely fine with just the Inferno Tower unless he's gonna have a Void spell. But even if he has a Void or a Lightning, we should be fine just because we have our Evo Skeletons and we have our Knight to help us on defense, which is gonna be monumental right here, guys. So we're gonna use our Knight here. Knight's gonna pull the Night Witch right to the center. That's gonna engage the Inferno Tower and the left side tower. And this guy is just struggling to get damage just because we have such a defensively sound deck with us right now. And this is exactly the deck that you want to be using if you're a log bait player. Poison and skeletons are the way to go right now in Arena 16, because especially if you're in Arena 16, you're going to see a lot of beatdown decks, and that's why I suggested you guys run poison in your deck, and you should be crushing all the beatdown decks that people are running right now in Arena 16. I'm going to pressure here. Goblin Bell should get some value. He's going to play a very bad Night Witch. I'm just going to log here. Log's going to take out the Wizard as well. We don't even need to respond to the Night Witch on the left side, but I want to try to push for a 3-crown here, get a nice 3-crown win right here. I'm going to pressure with the Skeletons, with the Princess, with the Goblin Barrel. I'm just trying to get a 3-crown as soon as possible. I'm going to use the Goblin Gang as well. Hopefully we can get it. 10 seconds to go. I think we're going to get the 3-crown right here. He's trying his level best to defend, but the Goblins are going to take the tower, and we get the game right there. Alright guys, the next deck that I want to be sharing with you guys is going to be the final deck. And this deck is going to be this giant beatdown deck with the Evo Wizard, and you're going to have the Sparky as well. Just because I like this deck, just because you can actually bait out spells with your Wizard or your Sparky, and whatever spell that he uses it on, maybe the Wizard or the Sparky, the other card is going to get a lot of value, especially when you have the Evo Wizard. You're going to get so much value just because the shield that the Evo Wizard is going to have is going to be a game changer, guys. As you know, most Wizard decks do super well, and I found out that this Sparky deck with the NATO is one of the best decks to run in Arena 16, just because you can get maximum value with the Tornado. Just line up a lot of cards together and your Wizard and the Sparky will get so much value, and that's exactly why I like the Tornado in this deck. I can choose to completely ignore this push just because we have a beatdown deck, but I'm just going to play the Wizard. Another play that you guys could have done is just completely ignore the Witch and start your push on the right side or the left side, and that's still a good play. But I just chose to use a Wizard because I don't want to take a lot of damage. But ideally, I should have just ignored all of that and started a big push just because I would have had so much elixir after just taking the damage from the push on the left side. So right here, I think I'm just gonna no, actually I don't want to Sparky. I think I'm just gonna Fireball the Witch and take no damage here. Again, the second choice is that you can completely ignore the Witch and start a Sparky push back and start a Sparky push right in the back. That's a good play as well. Usually you want to do that as a beatdown player, but I'm just choosing to like not take a lot of damage. But against good players, you want to do that. This guy, I don't even know if he's that good of a player, so I'm just gonna, you know, Fireball Witches and like Princesses. I'm still gonna not take a lot of damage just because I don't need to. These guys aren't that great. I'm just gonna pressure both lanes because that's gonna be really good. But unfortunately, I do miss the timing on the Knight, so that's gonna be really bad for me on the right side. But we still get a lot of damage on the right side because he has to respond to the Knight on the right. We're gonna get so much value with the Knight. Knight's gonna get his tower down to Fireball range, and all I need to do for the next 30 seconds is just defend. He's gonna try his best here. I'm gonna wait. Exactly, that's exactly why I waited. He's gonna play a Bomber into the Wizard and the Witch, and we get maximum Fireball value. We're gonna take out the Witch, Wizard, and the Bomber. That's what, 5, 5, and 2. That's 12 elixir we just took out with just 4 elixir, and that's why you need to wait sometimes if you know what deck he's gonna be running here. I'm just gonna Rage here. Rage is gonna completely kill the bats, and it's gonna help us defend against the Bomber. His tower's at 104 health. We're just gonna Fireball here. I didn't even play this match that well, and we were able to absolutely destroy this guy. And that's why this is one of the best beatdown decks to be using in Arena 16. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, take care, guys.